What happens when three aggressive bikers try to humiliate a man named David at a gas station? You won't believe how his calm demeanor and a single phone call turned the situation upside down. The sun was setting over a quiet rural gas station near the outskirts of Cedarville, where David, a skilled mechanic with a kind heart, had pulled over to help an elderly woman. Her car sat unevenly on the gravel lot, the front tire completely flat. She looked flustered, clutching her purse as if it might somehow fix the situation. David, exhausted after a long day at the auto shop, had grease-stained overalls and the weary look of someone ready to call it a day. But seeing the woman's predicament, he couldn't just drive past. He parked his motorcycle, grabbed his toolkit, and approached her with a reassuring smile. "Looks like you've had a rough day," he said, rolling up his sleeves. "Let me take care of that for you." Her face lit up, a mix of relief and gratitude washing over her. "Oh, bless you, young man. I've been stuck here for over an hour, and no one stopped to help." David got to work, his practiced hands moving with precision as he replaced the damaged tire. The woman watched in awe, her voice brimming with gratitude as she offered her thanks over and over. When he tightened the last lug nut, she reached into her purse to offer him money, but he waved her off with a kind smile. "No need for that," he said. "Just pay it forward." With her car back in shape, she drove off, waving enthusiastically through her open window. David felt a sense of satisfaction, a small act of kindness to end his day. He turned toward his motorcycle, ready to head home when the peace of the moment was shattered. The roar of three motorcycles cut through the stillness, their engines like an ominous warning. Three bikers, clad in leather jackets emblazoned with skulls and flames, pulled into the station. They parked their bikes in front of David, blocking his exit. The leader, a tall man with a green bandana tied around his head, dismounted and pointed at David with a sneer. "Well, well," the man said, his voice dripping with mockery. "What's a guy like you doing out here? Don't you know this ain't your kind of place?" David, calm and unshaken, glanced at the man before turning back to his bike. "Just stopping to help someone out," he said evenly, keeping his tone neutral. The bikers exchanged glances and smirked. They spread out, circling him like predators around prey. Their laughter was loud, their comments venomous. The shortest of the three, a stocky man with tattoos running up his arms, leaned in and said, "Looks like you took a wrong turn, buddy. Cedarville ain't your place." David didn't respond. He kept his focus, his grip on his helmet tightening slightly. The third biker, casually swinging a chain in his hand, took a step closer. "You better pack it up and go," he said, his tone threatening, "unless you're looking for trouble." The leader with the green bandana chuckled darkly. "Might want to check a mirror before you mouth off, pal. Don't need us making that face of yours any uglier." The insult hung in the air, but David didn't flinch. His grip on the helmet tightened, his jaw clenching momentarily. Instead of responding with anger, he reached for his phone. His calm demeanor only seemed to infuriate the bikers further. "Oh, look at this," the man with the chain said, throwing his hands up in mock fear. "He's calling the cops. Go ahead, man. Let us know how that works out for you." David ignored them, his fingers steady as he dialed. He spoke quietly into the phone. "It's David. I need backup. Sending the location now." He hung up, sent a pin to whoever was on the other end, and slipped the phone back into his pocket. His movements were deliberate, unhurried, and his calmness only fueled the bikers' frustration. The leader's smirk faltered for a moment. "You think someone's coming to save you? Newsflash, man, you're on your own out here." David's eyes met his for the first time, steady and unyielding. "We'll see about that," he said quietly. What followed was chaos. The stocky biker swung his chain at David's motorcycle, knocking it to the ground with a loud crash. A collective gasp rippled through the small crowd of onlookers who had started to gather, phones in hand, recording the scene. Still, David didn't react. He picked up his phone and calmly sent another message. "You think you're too good to talk to us?" The stocky man barked, stepping closer and grabbing David by the collar. He yanked him forward, but David's expression didn't change. He stared at the man with a quiet intensity that sent a ripple of unease through the group. The commotion drew more attention. Bystanders whispered among themselves, wondering if someone should call the police. The tension was palpable. The biker's bravado contrasted sharply with David's stoic calm. It was a standoff no one dared to interrupt. Then, as if on cue, the sound of sirens broke through the air. The bikers froze. The wailing grew louder, and within moments, 2 police cars pulled into the station. Their lights cast a red and blue glow over the scene, illuminating everything like a spotlight. But that wasn't all. Behind the squad cars came 3 motorcycles, their riders wearing black jackets with a Golden Hawk emblem, the unmistakable insignia of the Golden Talons, one of the most respected biker clubs in the region. David stood, brushing off his jeans with deliberate calm. He walked toward the newcomers as the first officer stepped out of the police car. A tall, imposing man with a deep voice addressed him. "David, everything okay here?" the officer asked. David nodded toward the bikers. "These gentlemen seem to forget that this isn't their territory," he said. The officer's expression hardened as he turned to the bikers. "Everyone, hands where I can see them. Identification now." The bikers scrambled, their earlier arrogance replaced by panic. The leader tried to regain control. "Come on, officer. This is just a misunderstanding," he stammered. "We didn't mean anything by it." Before the officer could respond, the Golden Talons dismounted, their presence commanding respect. Their leader, a burly man with a graying beard, walked straight to David and extended his hand. "Sorry, we're late," he said. "Traffic." The bikers' faces turned pale. The pieces clicked into place. The leader's voice wavered. "Wait, you're?" David nodded, a faint smile playing on his lips. "That's right, regional president of the Golden Talons, and you just made the mistake of thinking you could push me around." The shift in power was undeniable. The bikers muttered hurried apologies, their voices barely audible. The police didn't hesitate to detain them for public disturbance and property damage. As the bikers were led away, David addressed the crowd, his voice calm but firm. "Next time, don't judge someone by how they look. You never know what they're capable of." The crowd erupted into applause as David mounted his motorcycle. He rode off, leaving behind a powerful reminder of courage, dignity, and the strength to stand against prejudice.